You ever have one of those days where you realize the only thing standing between you and a bulldozer is sheer hard-headed stubbornness? Yeah, that's been my whole life, born on this dirt, and if I have my way, I'll die on it too. Hopefully not under a tractor, though, but let's just say I've had closer calls than I care to admit. Name's John Miller, 45 years old, husband to the toughest, kindest woman this side of the Mississippi, dad to two sharp kids, and third in a long line of ornery men who never once backed down from a fight for this land, even when the odds looked real ugly. We work over 3,000 acres of Kentucky sunburnt ground sheep, cattle, chickens, greenhouses, fields that roll on forever. About 20 employees, but honestly, they're more like family by now. My granddad started this place with a couple of stubborn mules and a rusted-out Ford. My dad kept it running until cancer took him faster than a rusty blade cut soft skin. I didn't have time to get ready one minute. I was shoveling manure the next. I was running the whole show. Now this farm hums along well like a Swiss watch if a watch came covered in mud diesel and cow crap. Laura, my wife, she keeps the books, runs logistics, handles the house, and somehow still finds time to remind me I left my boots on the porch again. Cassie, our daughter, just started her second year in environmental engineering out in Louisville. She's always telling me how I could rotate the crops smarter. Lucas is 17, aiming for college ball, stubborn as his old man. They come home when they can, but this place always draws them back. Life was steady, not boring, just predictable in the ways that matter when you're responsible for $500,000 in machinery and 400 head of cattle. We had contracts, lined up supply chains that clicked along, even a good-natured handshake deal with the local HOA Silver Creek Estates. That's the shiny new neighborhood that's crept up on our eastern border over the last 2 decades. They'd buy our meat, eggs, and veggies wholesale. We'd get access to their private lake. No contracts, just trust, and maybe a holiday basket with smoked ham and canned peaches. I thought it was about as neighborly as it gets. And for years it was. As long as they got their hormone-free pork chops and we got to let the dogs swim or wet a fishing line, everyone was happy. But then May rolled around, and like the first breath of a bad storm, everything changed. First, the HOA's box truck stopped coming for its Wednesday morning pickup. No email, no heads up, just nothing. I called Dale, the old board president, a retired dentist who loved dad jokes and watering his lawn so much you'd think he was trying to grow rice. No answer. Mailbox full. Then the lake got weird. Laura and I were down there with the dog one Saturday just soaking up the sun when a rent-a-cop in a golf cart rolled up and told us the lake was members only. I laughed, told him I'd been using that lake since before he learned to tie his shoes. He just shrugged, said orders were orders. From the new board. From Karen Riley. Oh, Karen. Big city lawyer turned suburban queen bee, the kind of person who files complaints about your porch lights being too cheerful. The moment I heard her name, I knew something nasty was brewing. Laura wanted to handle it nice, bring cookies, talk it out. We never got the chance. Next morning, while I'm out feeding lambs up, rolls a convoy black SUV. A Prius outsteps. Karen, cream blazer, sunglasses, clipboard in hand, like she's about to audit my entire existence. She had a couple sidekicks, a guy in khakis, a lady in heels who looked allergic to dirt. Karen greets me with this smile you say for someone you're about to rob. Mr. Miller, we wanted to touch base about the future of our cooperative relationship. Cooperative, my rear end. She starts rattling off about resource distribution and community sustainability. I cut her off. Speak English. She says they want a formal agreement, 60% of my net profits in exchange for continued lake access and weekly deliveries to their clubhouse. If I refused, they'd pursue legal options over land use and environmental compliance. I stared at her, honestly stunned. Been lowballed plenty in my day, but this was a new kind of crazy. I told her real plain what she could do with her offer in language my mama wouldn't approve of. Karen's smile didn't budge, but her eyes sure did. They left dignity dented, but not broken. After that, things got real quiet. Too quiet. No more HOA trucks, no calls. Nothing but that feeling like air before a thunderstorm. I doubled up the locks, let the dogs roam further at night, set up extra trail cams near the tree line. Then the letter started, one from some law firm I'd never heard of, another from the Community Environmental Oversight Committee, which, near as I can tell, is just code for Karen's minions. The legal letter threatened everything from audits to eminent domain. Yeah, they actually said it threatened to take my family's land if I didn't play ball. I ripped up those letters, then called Laura. She didn't panic, just said, "We need a lawyer." But first I wanted answers. I stomped down to the HOA building, a glass monstrosity built by someone who thinks farmhouse chic means plastic shutters and fake barns. Sat 2 hours in the lobby. Nobody came out. Security finally showed me the door. Then they really turned the screws. The next week, our main road to town blocked. No work crew, just cones and a white truck parked sideways. County had no record. Number on the truck went straight to voicemail. So we rerouted through the back, burning more diesel and time. We managed, but it hurt. Then Jimmy, my best ranch hand, found 2 unmarked black drums near the HOA border. Sharp chemical smell, not ours. Turned out to be a banned pesticide. Sheriff couldn't do a thing, no witnesses, no camera trail cam, ripped clean off the tree. That night I sat in the kitchen, lights off, shotgun across my lap, feeling like a soldier on his own land. Then came the flood of anonymous complaints, animal health, environmental safety, ag board, you name it. Every call, confidential source. 4 days of officials tramping all over, snapping photos, asking loaded questions. By Thursday, one of my oldest clients put our contract on hold. 3 cameras disabled, all near the HOA line. Police shrugged. No evidence, no suspects. Then came the roadblock again. This time a flatbed truck with flat tires right across our only access. Towing company couldn't touch it. Sheriff was too busy. We had to haul shipments out by hand. My crew was tired and mad. Jimmy finally said it. "They're trying to starve you out, boss." I knew he was right. Things went from bad to wild. One night, 2 a.m. Tank, the best damn dog you've ever met, goes crazy. Floodlights snap on. I see 2 figures running by the silo. I yell. Tank launches, tackles one young guy, backpack, gloves, chemical canister. Cops show up. The kid screaming, hurt, spooked. Deputy flips open a notebook, tells me the kid claims he was hired for a contract gig by someone on the HOA board, name starts with K. That finally was a break. Turned out the arrested guy, Cody, gave up a name, Blake Trent, who was tied to Silver Horizons Redevelopment, LLC. 51% owned by, you guessed it, Karen Riley. Digging deeper, we found out Silver Horizons had filed survey permits on my land 3 months back. Their plan was simple: poison the land, crash its value, get it condemned, and then buy it cheap through a shell company. Classic. We took it all: videos, confessions, chemical proof, right to the county prosecutor. One board member flipped fast for immunity. Soon warrants flew, the HOA building got raided, and Karen was arrested at dawn, still in her bathrobe. Local news couldn't get enough. Within a week, Silver Creek's board melted down. Residents were in open revolt. Folks who'd never spoken to me before started showing up with pies and apologies. Jimmy brought a case of beer. We rang the old dairy barn bell in celebration. But the mess wasn't over. We'd lost crops, had contaminated soil, lost business, and stacked up legal bills. So I called my dad's old lawyer, Malcolm Guy, who still writes letters by hand and wears bolo ties in court. He took one look and said, "We're suing." Malcolm tore into them subpoenas, meeting minutes, internal emails, security badge logs. He built a case that made Karen's attorney sweat. The court hearing drew a crowd. Half the county wanted to see the showdown. Karen's emails were read aloud, spelling out every dirty trick, blocked the roads, fake complaints, chemical dumps. They even played the security footage of Cody getting tackled by Tank, yelling Karen as he went down. Jury didn't take long, found for us on all counts. Karen's assets frozen, her LLC dissolved, the HOA found negligent. They awarded us plus $2.3 million in damages. First thing I did, paid every employee a bonus. Next, hired soil experts to heal the north field. Within weeks, new green shoots poked up. Clients slowly returned. Cassie ran soil samples for extra credit. Lucas fixed the fences. The land felt alive again, battered sure, but not beaten. A year later, things are better. Grass is tall, fences strong, lake peaceful. Silver Creek's HOA dissolved by vote. The new board, made up of actual neighbors, opened the lake to everyone, jointly run with the county now. The sun's shining, grills smoking, Cassie and Lucas are home. Tank snoozes in the grass and Laura's setting up chairs, humming an old tune. Friends from neighboring farms wander over with beer and pies, and someone's kid starts a splash war down at the dock. I look out over 3,000 acres, still ours, still alive, finally at peace. And you know what? I'd do it all again to defend this ground. Because sometimes, when the wrong people get a clipboard and a little power, it's up to stubborn folks like us to remind them this land isn't just dirt, it's blood. Would you have fought back, or would you have let them take it? Tell me your story down below, because out here every voice counts.